time we've all been waiting for is here. The long-anticipated time of hope that ignites excitement in millions. The historic season will rapidly unfold. A sharp, twisting, turning, emotional gauntlet of fate. In the end, champions will be crowned. A prize that will secure their place in history. But right now, they are all contenders.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. Welcome to our 16th week of Camp Quarantine. While you are here, we are just about to get started. Pour yourself a beverage. Today is National Tequila Day. We have an artist from Atlanta celebrating National Watercolor Day. Of course, we are raising money for the Big Brothers Big Sisters organization and our big announcement later in the show. Hit that share button, give us a like, let somebody know, and we will be starting in just 1 minute. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. How are you all? Welcome to our 16th week of Camp Quarantine. Now, this is a little bit of deja vu because in our third week, way back in April, I was wearing a Braves jersey, a little different than today, and would have been hopeful because that would have been the start of baseball. But baseball is back. Major League Baseball is back today. They just started. The Braves are actually currently playing or just finished. But the first game is certainly exciting, and I'm thrilled to have many of the major sports back. But I'm your host, Amrit B. with Hustle and Hospitality. If this is your first Camp Quarantine, we welcome you. We like to celebrate every day. We are celebrating quite a few days a day, but this is an interactive live stream. This is real. The folks at Hustle and Hospitality have been kind enough, along with StreamYard, to put on these for the last almost 4 months, or it has been a little over 4 months now during Camp Quarantine. But if you're new to the show, we want to know where you're from, and we will happily share kind of comments and things like that throughout the broadcast. So drop a comment below if you will let us know where you were watching from, what your favorite camp story is. We will be featuring those throughout the show. But as we talk about baseball being back, I don't know that you could have any more fun than this clip right here.
The time we've all been waiting for is here. The long-anticipated time of hope that ignites excitement in millions. The historic season will rapidly unfold. A sharp, twisting, turning, emotional gauntlet of fate. In the end, champions will be crowned. A prize that will secure their place in history. But right now, they are all contenders.
That just gives me a little bit of tingles because I'm excited. I wanted to show it again. But as I mentioned, baseball is back. Yesterday, Anthony Fauci threw out the first pitch. I think he should probably stick to science. But nevertheless, we've got a great show for you today. I'd love to tell you a little bit about our guest today. We have an artist from Atlanta as we celebrate National Watercolor Month, a gentleman that we've been trying to have on the show for quite some time. So I'm very excited to bring him aboard. We also have folks who are heroes in their own regards. We're featuring small businesses, celebrating National Hot Dog Day. And oh yeah, why are we doing this? That's a good point, Amrit. Well, over the last 3 months, we have a lot more viewers today, so I'll just quickly recap you guys. But we've been raising money for various organizations. In May, we started out with raising funds for the Center for Disaster Philanthropy. In June, the Color of Change. And this month, because it happened to be my birthday last week, I selected Big Brothers Big Sisters of America to actually be my charity of choice. So throughout the broadcast, I will be encouraging folks to donate at the link below and support some of these organizations, and we'll be highlighting some of the things they are doing. Excited to say that today I have a special guest. My little brother is actually on today's show, and I'd love to bring him aboard here in just a minute. But what is Big Brothers Big Sisters? We've been sharing a little bit about, kind of the relationships that are held. The last 2 weeks, we featured both the Big Sister and Big Brother of the Year nationally. But let's see if we can't have somebody here that, I don't think he's available yet right now. But anyways, we've got some big, exciting things going on. But I guess our first guest, let's just bring him aboard as we're talking about it. My little brother, Mr. Amari. Amari, are you there? Hey, bud. Amari, happy Friday. Can you hear me, bud?
How
Hey, can you have the camera up a little bit? Amari, happy Friday, man. How you doing? I know we haven't been able to hang out yet during certainly quarantine, but I know we will have an opportunity to do so very soon. But you and I, our first outing, we've featured some of the guests that I met that weekend. But do you remember one of our first outings when we went camping?
Yeah.
Amari, do you remember that we had canoes? What else did we have? We did s'mores. That was how many years ago, Amari? Anything else you remember about that?
Not really. It was a long time ago. So
It was a long time ago. We've been matched together it's been about, I want to say after, I don't want to age myself here at the same time, but you're now taller than I, and it hasn't always been that way. Let's just say that, right? I've got some photos of you I shared with you earlier today here, actually. Do you mind if I share this picture with some folks here on here? It has some purpose, Amari, because I shared with you what I'm planning on announcing a little bit later, but I know you have been a builder in my corner for some time. Who's that guy? That was 2012. So let's say that was maybe 8 years ago. Look at him, big old grin. Well, Amari, you and I have been through quite a bit, but anything you want to share about the Big Brothers program? I know your actual brothers were also paired up in Big Brothers Big Sisters, right?
yes.
I don't know if your connection's spotty there, or it's just a hot Friday here in Atlanta. But nevertheless, I really appreciate you being on. Now, what have you been doing up during quarantine, Amari?
Just been in the house, watching TV, playing the game.
Now your school already your school already has been set to be canceled, right? Not canceled. In-person classes are canceled. But during quarantine, you were doing online classes. How did you manage that? You're gonna be in 10th grade, right? Coming here this fall.
Yes.
Are you like looking
Yes.
forward to the online classes? Tell me a little bit about how that worked for you over the last few months.
Uh, I wouldn't say it wasn't difficult, but it was pretty easy.
Well, Amari, we look. I know you love playing basketball. Are you excited about the sports being back? Are you going to watch any of these NBA games in their bubble?
Yeah, I've been watching the games. The Lakers game, and the Nuggets.
Tell me this now. You and I, like I mentioned, went camping before. What are your favorite camping snacks? Do you have any favorite camping snacks? I know you're a guy who loves to snack.
I say s'mores.
S'mores, good answer. Absolutely. Who doesn't love a fantastic s'more? All right. Well, what are you up to this weekend, Amari? I appreciate you being on. I love the relationship that we have, and hopefully I'll see you soon. But what do you have big plans this weekend? It's going to be another 94 degrees here in Atlanta.
Nah, I don't have any plans this weekend.
Good deal. Well, I'll have to give you a shout offline. I really appreciate your time and thank you for being on. You stay safe out there, all right? Take care, bud. Thank you so much, Amari. I appreciate you being on. Now, it's tough. I mean, folks aren't absolutely able to hang out with their friends, see their people. It's a little difficult, but I know anytime we pick up, are able to always pick up where we left off. Or excuse me, anytime we catch up, we're always able to pick up where we left off. I'm a little tongue-tied. I've been screaming watching Braves. I just really want to share what it is we're going to announce, but you've got to wait and stay put. So our next guest actually is in Atlanta as well. And as I mentioned, he's an individual that I have been trying to get on the stream for a little while. He has also been watching the game, Mr. Corey Weimer. How you doing, bud?
What's going on, man? Am I right?
Hey, happy Friday, bud. We have been pulling teeth literally for weeks trying to get you on the show. So I really appreciate it. But I like the apparel. And unfortunately, I think the game just finished, right? We just unfortunately put one in the L column, but it's just game one. I'm just glad it's back. Where are you at right now?
I'm in my home office in Decatur, Georgia.
Love it. Oh, you've got a friend with you. Who's that? Oh, I know that guy. Also a Braves fan.
We're rocking Braves.
You're gonna have, since you're over there, I'm gonna have to have you share our announcement here a little bit later. But nevertheless, Corey, I brought you aboard because July, we like to celebrate things. Today happens to be National Tequila Day, but the month of July happens to be National Watercolor Day as well, or National Watercolor Month, excuse me. So I brought you on because you are an artist in so many different ways, and I'm gonna just be quiet here and let you introduce yourself and kind of share a little bit about your background.
So I'm Corey Weston Weimer. As far as art, it's always been kind of like a small little side project, something to keep me busy, keep my mind occupied, especially as all of us have been in quarantine, kept busy. As of recently, I've tried to take this fun and what is kind of a hobby and make it more of a business and something I can make a living off of. So over the last couple of weeks, I've really kind of dived in and really been engulfing myself in art. I don't really use watercolor per se. I do use watercolor paper, if that's any consolation.
What is that? What is watercolor paper?
It's super thick, sucks with color pencil, I'll be honest, but it's just a high quality, great paper. As far as the mediums I use, alcohol-based markers. Copic is probably the most known. And then pencil, pen and ink, and then I dabble a little bit in acrylic paint.
Acrylic paint. Now, what is your favorite medium? Do you have one, or is it just kind of whatever strikes your fancy on any given day based on how you're feeling?
I've always been a color pencil guy, just because of what you can do with it, how you can blend, mix, and all of that. But
Look at these pieces. Look at these pieces. I know, like I said, I'm. It always works out as it should. Obviously, we're both big Braves fans, but you know, you run the gamut as a huge sports fan. But I think I'm speechless. Your pieces always are something that are to be to fond after. Now you do a lot. I think when we first met, you were doing of dogs. Is that not right? You do some custom pieces of dogs. And oh my gosh! All right, I've got you up on full screen here. I like that.
here's a little Atlanta Falcons representing here. I'm the big mouth clown, as I like to call him, Michael Thomas, who is not number 1 or number 2, really probably not number 5 wide receiver in the league. Let me just throw that out there. I absolutely hate the New Orleans Aints. So this is a little tribute piece to the Falcons. Something I don't think you'll find on my social media. So yes.
No, maybe not.
Animal has always been kind of like what people have known me for over the last couple of weeks and really, I guess, couple months. I've tried to broaden my my abilities and really doing people and making portraits. So I've got Jordan, as you saw, Aaron Rodgers, some commissions that people have asked me to do. Like the old school Deion Sanders, currently working on an old school Kobe Bryant. As far as, there's not really anything with color pencil or marker I can't do, or at least I found that I can't do. But yes, I love animals. And honestly, that's kind of really where a lot of my focus has been in the last couple of years. But yeah, like I said, I love doing commissions. I like doing different animals. I've done some horses recently, which honestly is not typically in my arsenal of animals, but
So in advance of being on the show, I gotta bring this up, but you mentioned portraits that you're doing a little bit more of, but you were very kind and sent me this guy for my birthday last week. Look at that. So I'll put it right next to me. This is a portrait that I really, really, really appreciate and have kept, and thank you so much for that. So that shows you the range, but that's not all. I know you've got another buddy who's around who just had a birthday as well, Mr. Alex Schilling. Alex, you there, bud? Oh, maybe he's not, but you are just being so gratuitous with your pieces, and I really appreciate it. But the other reason I want to bring you on the show was because you are no stranger to the outdoors either. You, I know, love traveling, hiking, and have been a number of places. So share a little bit about, I guess, how you came into that, and some maybe a quick camping story or favorite outdoorsy kind of memory for us.
Well, the map behind me is actually pinned to show all the places in the U.S. that I've gone and camped and traveled to. The photo that you posted on Camp Quarantine's social media was actually me and Alex, the gentleman that's blacked out right now, in Big Bend, Texas, which is one of my favorite trips. It was like my second hiking trip. We didn't really know what to expect. We go out there, it's October, it's 101 degrees. And I was expecting desert, and we get there. Our original path was kind of closed off because it was too hot. You had to cache your water, like plan ahead. There were a couple people missing already. And so they're like, hey, we suggest this other path. And so it was to go up into the Chisos Mountains. We had to carry our water in because there was no water source. It was a 2.5-day hike. Within the 2.5 days, we saw, I think it was 9 total black bears. One of which, I think 3 of which, was 2 cubs and a mother, were at our campsite the first night we got there. Funny enough, as we finished the hike and got back to civilization and service, we found out they closed the park the day after we left because of bear activity. So that's probably, I'd say one of my most memorable moments in camping. I've done the Lost Coast in California with, as I said, Alex, and it's also, I was supposed to propose to my wife at Yosemite on El Capitan due to the forest fires 2 years ago. That was, I couldn't make it happen. So we diverted all the way over to the West Coast of California. And I proposed her on the Lost Coast, which is a 30-mile hike down the coast. We, of course, didn't do all of that, but
30 miles. Oh, man.
So, I would say the next, if anyone's watching that loves going out and looking for hikes, the Loop up in Canada. So Banff, Jasper, Waterton, Glacier. We did.
Corey, why are you teasing all the folks? Right now, we can't go visit Canada, at least in the U.S. We did have some Canadian viewers, and they've shared, but if we have any folks watching today, actually shoot us a message on YouTube or Facebook. We'd love to actually bring you on in a future episode. But don't tease them. That's where I would like to go as well. But no. That's great to hear. I think we are able to get Alex on here shortly. That's Oh, wait, he keeps disappearing. See, now, as far as I know, both of you guys are always out in the wilderness, so you never know when we'll actually catch you with cell service, right?
Right. That's part of the glory in going camping, right? You're forced.
Very true.
To be away from society.
Very true. So, oh, wait, there he is. Alex, you got anything to contribute about these bears?
Mazel tov. Alex.
Mr. Borland.
You're live.
Yo, sorry, the connection is really bad, so I'm just trying to figure out the Wi-Fi, but I can't get it quite yet.
No worries. We tried to run a test with you earlier, and I figured we may lose you here and there. So you're good. We were just chatting about some stories with bears. I actually encountered one here a couple weeks ago, and man, they're nothing to play with.
If you guys can give me 5.
I think we're losing him. Nevertheless, yeah, bears are certainly nothing to play with. If you have any one suggestion about bears, it's put your food, your coolers in the car. It's that simple. We actually had bears run off with our Amari's favorite treats. We had a bear run off with s'mores and marshmallows from us. It was a little difficult. Corey, you'll stay with us here for a second. Maybe show us that map behind you. We're just chatting about some camp snacks, and I figured I'd show this. So I hope you all enjoyed that. I don't know if that's making you salivate quite as much as me, but we're here chatting about camp snacks, camp memories on our 16th weekend of camp quarantine. And we were just chatting with Mr. Corey, Atlanta artist, but he was sharing a memory certainly with snacks and bears, and also his good friend Alex. Alex, I think we finally got you.
Is he in the trunk now?
Where is this guy?
It's that Portland service.
No, man, he's killing us in Portland. Anyways, Corey, anything else you want to leave the folks with about some travels or ways to certainly stay creative and inspired during this time?
I mean, all I can say is keep practicing, right? As far as art, as far as camping, parks that I recommend, you've already heard Banff, Jasper, Waterton, all in Canada. So not currently, but Glacier's great. Olympic National Park is incredible. If you can get out there, if you can get up to BC, going to Squamish, which is like a little Yosemite in Canada. The Lost Coast in California, Big Bend in Texas is probably the best kept secret in Texas. I have a whole list of national parks that I'm just trying to run through. And one of my things, as far as, I love stickers, but every national park that we go and visit and hike, and I make sure to get a patch. So I have patches from every park that I've ever visited.
That's cool. That's real neat. It's better than taking nothing and just taking photos and leaving just footprints, huh? Patches. At least you've got something there. That's pretty neat. All right. How do folks follow along with you and stay abreast with your art and certainly your travels?
So down in the corner at C Weimer, little play on words. C as in see me, right? As an artist, that was kind of like my play on words. But Corey Weimer on Facebook, that's about as social as I get. Can't find me on TikTok.
Love it. Corey, thank you again for this lovely piece. And folks, it is that simple. Just follow along, C Weimer. And Corey, really, really appreciate your time. One more time, it's about midway through. So I know if you guys stuck around early, you had a chance to see my little brother. Many think, I didn't know you had a little brother. No, I do, in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. And that is the reason why we are here today. We are raising funds for this wonderful program. Now, I'm a little partial. I'm a member of the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Metro Atlanta. But why should you join? Why should you care? Why should you be interested? Well, this is why.
Hey, what's up? Kevin here from Big Brothers Big Sisters. Even though this coronavirus pandemic has separated us physically, it has not separated us virtually.
I talked to my little sister, Manara, the other day, and it was so fun to see her face.
Though it's not the same as the in-person connection, it still really makes my day, and I think it makes her day as well.
Every time we talk, I constantly remind him to stay on top of his homework.
Be present and at that moment and focus on your relationship.
I know that this coronavirus can be scary.
Just know this is just temporary. That's all it is.
This is just a bump in the road, and there's a whole highway ahead of us.
Other than that, I just say I believe in you.
We're in this together. We're going to get through it together as a community.
We just got to use this time to strengthen each other, and we're doing that.
Well, that's all I got. How do I hang this thing up?
So it does not matter that we are unable to see folks as easily as we would like during this time. So many others are in need of that support, that backbone, that inspiration, that mentorship, that just older individuals. So I encourage you to take a look and look into it in your area. You can go to bbs.org or bbbsatl.org for the Atlanta area or wherever you are in this country. And I know they have programs actually internationally as well. Our next guest, I actually happened to meet last year around this same time, and there's a reason we brought him aboard, but I would like to introduce Andre Walker. Andre looks like he's on the road. How you doing, bud?
I am doing good. Life does go on. I'm still hard at work, right? So I'm still on the road. We were out filming today for an upcoming edition of Georgia Detours that airs on GSU TV and also on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Well, I'm going to hold you up for just a second. Do you mind sharing a little bit about how we met last year? And I had a buddy send me this. So while you're sharing, I might have to open this up. But yeah, last year, Andre, how did we meet?
So we met last year. We were trying to. We met actually a couple weeks online before we went over to Tomorrowland last year, and you were trying to get some stuff done with an artist that you were working with, and you were trying to basically make sure that you had everything you needed to get back behind the scenes to help take care of your artist. And so I put you in touch with some of Tomorrowland's top brass, and you got to experience some of the great festival. And then afterwards, after both weekends, we met up over in Paris, and just hung out and had some food there. And I guess as they say, the rest is history.
The rest is history. Now, Andre, I am opening this up, and I wanted to bring you on this week in particular. I've been meaning to have you on, not only just because you're a creative, wonderful individual, but this weekend happens to be the 16th. We are on our 16th episode, so it happens to be the 16th version of Tomorrowland. They sent these packages out to some of the folks that purchased part of their virtual stream tomorrow, which I promise you will be absolutely incredible. But they also sent this incredible, hang on, let me show this here if I can. They also sent this. I don't know if you got this package, but whole bunch of goodies. I have a friend that'll be on actually next week who I ventured off with, Mr. Rivera. He's been on the show before, but he'll be on next week as well, talking about his, he's a small business owner, but he dropped this off. And so I wanted to share this moment with you because we can't be in person, but I encourage everybody who is, a fan of kind of electronic music and has that desire to travel abroad, they absolutely should look at next July for the 3 weekends it sounds like are going to be there.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to do 3 weekends because, this year was such a huge disappointment not to have the festival because they had put in, a lot of hard work in preparing for that. But they, at the same time, they've put in a lot of hard work for this weekend's virtual festival. I was on a press conference call yesterday with Katy Perry and Nervo and Steve Aoki and David Guetta. And, the word that's going forth is, they put in a lot of work to make this festival, Tomorrowland, around the world, as close to Tomorrowland as possible, given the circumstances. This is why, they sent out those posters, they sent out, bracelets and glow sticks and whatnot, because they want everybody to make Tomorrowland, make their own Tomorrowland at home.
And so we will be doing that actually here in our backyard at Camp Quarantine. So for anybody that's interested, actually tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., the stream will be going on. We will be safely social distancing here at our Atlanta studios of Camp Quarantine with their virtual festival. We'll have a projector set up and encourage folks from our community to come out and join. We'd love to meet you and learn where you are from. But yeah, I was so thrilled to find another individual that was going from Atlanta last year. But you weren't just an attendee. You've been a part of kind of Tomorrow World here, Tomorrowland here for a while. And if you don't mind just sharing a little bit of kind of, I guess, your go-getter attitude or the way you've got, things happen for a reason, sure, but it requires sometimes a little bit more of that, gusto to actually make happen. Do you mind talking a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, basically, I've been, involved in media and journalism for over 20 years. My first press pass was covering a high school football game, state semifinals at the Georgia Dome here in Atlanta back in 2000. So that got my start 20 years ago. So, I guess it was luck, or maybe it was just good circumstances, where I got a great news tip from the mayor of Chattahoochee Hills. He said, we're announcing something big that's coming to town, and if you're interested, come on out and cover it for us. So I went out there, and they held this big press conference at Buckhart Farms, where Tomorrow World was held back in the first edition in 2013, and then 2 other editions. And so that sort of started me on the Tomorrow World, Tomorrowland bandwagon. I covered that first festival from local standpoint, because I don't live too far from where the event is held. And so I was like, okay, how are the locals reacting to 150,000 people showing up for this massive festival? And then gradually I just started getting it more and more onto the artist side and whatnot. And the long story short is you have to, you always have to position yourself. You have to be in a spot so that when these opportunities come to you, that you're ready to jump on them and move forward. And so that really is basically my philosophy in life in general, is that you just always have to be in the right position to move in whatever direction that life takes you. And you know what, it's taken me all the way over to Europe and back, and it's garnered me an Emmy nomination at the same time. So I must be doing something right.
That's incredible, Andrea. I really appreciate your time and certainly sharing a little bit about that. Will you stick around for our big announcement here in a little bit, or at least let folks know how they can find you and follow along with kind of your film career and certainly your Emmy happenings and all kinds of things?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I have a very common name, so I'm kind of hard to find on Facebook, but you can actually find me on Instagram, and that'll take you to my website. Actually, let me just give you my website, and you can find all my socials there. It's AndreMWalker.com. And you can see some of the shows I produced in the past, and you can get to my social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm on all three of those. So just go to AndreMWalker.com, www.AndreMWalker.com.
Good deal. Well, I've got your Instagram posted up below, so folks can also follow you there. But thanks again for your time, dude. Stay safe, and hopefully we'll catch some music here over the next 48 hours, even if virtually. But take care, and definitely appreciate you being a fan and support and a part of Camp Quarantine this week. All right, so we're just going to keep moving along. As we mentioned, it's certainly a big deal that baseball is back, but there's a couple new things, and part of it is, well, we're here on our 16th episode, so it would only be fair that I mentioned one little change that may be coming to baseball today. Here's a little bit. I get excited about the baseball.
It's been way too long since we played baseball, and there is a lot to cover, but we got you. This is Top 9. At 60 games, this is going to be the shortest season ever played, which means it's a sprint to October, and with the postseason expanded to include 16 teams, things are going to get crazy. Regional-only games mean matchups we rarely get to see. Bryce versus Judge, Javi versus Lindor, Arenado versus Ohtani, and that's just step one in a season unlike any other. Number 2, huge rule changes this year. First, the new automatic runner in extra innings, and second, the DH comes to the National League, which means a serious offense injection for literally half the teams. Number 3. Warning to the National League. Mookie Betts is now a Dodger for the next 13 years. He's straight up one of the best players in the game, and the Dodgers are ready to win like yesterday. Seriously, they won the division 7 years in a row and have made it to 2 of the last 3 World Series. Is Mookie the missing piece for this powerhouse? Number 4. Speaking of new faces and new places, beyond Mookie, 2 prime talents went across the country. Anthony Rendon went out west, and Hyunjin Ryu landed in the east. But the biggest splash might be the Cole train pulling into the Bronx. Garrett Cole could be the nastiest pitcher in baseball. He signed a record-breaking deal with the Yankees, and hey, they were already loaded with superstars. Is this the year the Yankees get back to the World Series? Number 5. Let the kids play! The youth movement is here to stay. Y aquí jugamos duro. You've got Fernando Tatis Jr., who's making insane plays when he's not busy dancing. Then there's Ronald Acuna Jr., 22 years old, who has endless swagger y mucha pasión. And of course, Polar Bear Pete, who casually won the 2019 Home Run Derby and broke the rookie homer record and won the Rookie of the Year, and that's just in the National League. Pause. Speaking of, we gotta talk about what may be the best division in the game. Number 6. The National League East is going to be an all-out brawl. The Phillies are electric from top to bottom. The Braves have swagger at just about every position. The Mets have never looked better. The Nats, just the defending world champs, no big deal. And hey, in 60 games, don't count out an improved Marlins club. Number 7, we could see new teams in the postseason. 2 rising clubs you gotta watch out for? Check out the Blue Jays, where Vlad Guerrero Jr. is already raking like his old man, and the dude's only 21. Then there's also Bo Bichette, another legacy kid whose skills and hair are off the charts fire. Oh, and we haven't mentioned the White Sox yet, because wow, time to pay attention to the South Side. Tim Anderson is the king of bat flips, not to mention the defending batting champ. And let's not forget about the Poder Latino, con Joan Moncada, Eloy Jimenez, Luis Robert, ya tu sabes. In a 60-game season where all bets are off, both of these loaded young clubs could easily sneak into the postseason. Number 8. We've all heard of Babe Ruth, right? Well, meet Shohei Ohtani of the Angels. He's a flamethrower and a power hitter, something literally no one's done since the Babe himself. An injury kept Ohtani from pitching last year, but now he's back on the mound every single Sunday. And his teammates? None other than the best player probably ever. Sup, Mike? And Anthony Rendon is low-key a game-changing talent. These guys are going to hit bombs, maybe all the way to the postseason. Number 9. Wait. We can't talk bombs and not bring up the Twins, aka the Bomba Squad. Led by an epic core of Latinos, we're talking Nelson Cruz, Jorge Polanco, Eddie Rosario. They named themselves that for a reason. This squad was ridiculous at the plate last year. Like, set an all-time record for home runs in a season, ridiculous. And they just signed Josh Donaldson too, and they don't call him the bringer of rain for nothing. Feel caught up? Good. Now you're ready for the 2020 season.
I sadly just confirmed that the Braves did lose today, but it's okay. I also have a new team that I'll be rooting for this year. How can you fault the Rays with a comment on Twitter like that? Good for them. Good for baseball, and I'm thrilled sports are certainly back in some regard. All right, folks, we are coming up towards the end of our stream and our big announcement, but we have a few more guests. As I mentioned earlier, today happens to be National Tequila Day. It happens to be National Drive-Thru Day, which I guess we could celebrate a little later too, but another one that I thought would be fun was to bring on my cousin from Los Angeles, Pavan. Pavan, happy National Cousins Day, bud.
Happy National Cousins Day.
Now you are what? You're in Los Angeles, so over there you're 3 hours back. Yep. I brought you on obviously because it's National Cousins Day. But can you do a tequila shot with me? I mean, it is National Tequila Day after all.
I have it ready.
You've got it ready. All right. Well, I'm gonna pour it here too. If you'd like to raise a toast this Friday evening. I guess I won't mix it. I do. So talk to me a little bit about you're a big, I guess I don't want to say connoisseur, but maybe I'm not a huge tequila fan. Cheers. But I know you have a lot of folks that are in the industry, and if you want to talk about this or a little bit about what you've been up to during quarantine, that'd be great.
Yeah,
cheers.
Cheers. That's my friend Zach's tequila you're drinking there. I guess they're about to relaunch it in 2021, I guess. So good friend of mine I grew up with that started that tequila. They made it in Mexico. They kind of made it on a dare, just drinking one night, and they sourced the liquor, and they've come so far. And now they're, I think, partnering with some big celebrities and whatnot. They're going to make a new bottle. So I think, Amrit, you got the one of the last of the original bottles. They're not going to be looking like that anymore. So save the bottle.
I was gonna say that's funny because this one is actually an original. It is their first batch, so it is one of their first batch 01. Love it. Love it.
It's gonna taste the same, but it's gonna look different.
So now you're in Los Angeles, California. I know you are certainly in the event circuit. I also would love for you to share not only what you've been up to, but maybe some changes you're seeing on the side of business out there, or certainly in the thick of Hollywood as you are.
Yeah, I mean, been relaxing, losing weight, all those kind of good things during quarantine, which has been good. But yeah, LA's pretty much on lockdown. Only have patio restaurants open, no bars open, just restaurants that have patios and just the outside area. Very strict. You got to wear a mask the whole time. They only seat you when your whole party's there. You can't have anyone join your party during a dinner. Of course, got to wear your mask when you go to the bathroom. And if you're while waiting for your table, you need to wait outside on the sidewalk. So they've been pretty strict here in LA, which is good. But we'll see what happens if they open everything up in August again.
Good deal. Now, what I understand also the industry is trying to come back there, or has everything kind of gone back to phase one in that sense? Or are you, I mean, you have a lot of colleagues I know that are certainly on that side. Maybe you could share how it's impacting the entertainment industry specifically.
Yeah, I think they're done. They're done for all of 2020 for any kind of entertainment events, any kind of movie premieres, any kind of probably even filming in California. They started a little bit at Universal Studios, but they shut it down again. I heard a friend who works there on the back lot, he said they got about 2% of the employees working. So, 2 out of 100 people that used to work there are working there. They're pretty much not going to do anything until next year, he's saying at this point. They pretty much told everyone they're going to be on furlough or whatnot. So, yeah, and then obviously all bars and nightlife, I think there was nightclubs and things are going to be closed probably till 2021 as well, too. Probably not till there's a vaccine, because it wouldn't make sense for them to open otherwise.
Well, how are you staying creative? Or you mentioned you're staying, healthy in terms of exercising and things like that, which is great. But how are you staying creative during this time? I know you have something behind you that, if I could encourage you to take us for a little tune.
Yeah, so that was like the Golden Soiree that a friend of mine and myself had started. We did it with Make-A-Wish a few years ago, helping out Make-A-Wish to grant some in-kind wishes, which was certain things that people that wanted to get done that Make-A-Wish wasn't able to grant directly. And so we kind of underwrote that and sponsored that, and did even, for example, welcome dinner at Coachella, where all the people who but their wish was to go to Coachella with their family, they all got to come to a house where they all were given their backstage passes and all those kind of good things and gift bags. So yeah, I think
I was hoping I might be able to coerce you into entertaining us with that large black object on your right.
Yeah, not today. It's like all packed away. Because I got the new couch.
That's what I was suggesting.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, maybe we'll have you back on and share your musical talents with us soon. We've been talking a lot about travel. I know you have a new piece. If you don't, could I put you on the spot to share your at least? You've been doing some redecorating.
Yeah, you can see it. Let's see. We got that. Got the new couch from CB2.
The table. This is what I'd like to see. This is the coolest thing. Now, Pavan has been to several different countries across the globe, and I encourage everybody, when they can travel again, to certainly look into that. I think there's something to be said about, having the ability to experience different cultures and things. And if it's right there in front of you as you're seated, I don't know how you wouldn't want to pinpoint all the countries out there and just plot your next travel. But again, right now, it's something that's domestic, huh, Pavan? Are you making any plans to travel anywhere in the near future?
I don't know. I was just talking to our good friend Mike, who actually does all the charity auction things that we both support, actually this afternoon. And we were just talking about that same thing, whether there'll be a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. Will it be safe to have people, will there be social distancing? Can they have events at Super Bowl, or are they going to have to, scrap that whole component of Super Bowl weekend? And I guess we'll have to see. Both of us were kind of unsure,
Good deal. Well, how can folks find you? How can they follow along with your travels, with your, tribulations, even in entertainment? How do folks follow you, Pavan?
My Instagram @VI_Pavan and the number 1.
Good deal. Well, thank you so much, Pavan. Have a happy National Tequila Day Enjoy Cousins Day.
Cheers.
We'll see you maybe tomorrow to continue the extended celebration tomorrow evening with another cousin, right?
We got our other cousin getting married tomorrow on Zoom. So
he was a guest on the show last week. Actually, he was out in Colorado. We got a chance to meet her. So we'll all be celebrating with him very soon.
With his fiance too. She was on last week too.
She was towards the end. It was fun. I'll have to share it with you.
I'll be seeing you on that Zoom stream tomorrow evening.
Absolutely all these different ways people are trying to stay connected, still have weddings and things like that. But as we spoke about travel, one thing that I always take for granted, I never take for granted actually, and always try and draw attention to, is some of the things that are happening, not here, but up there this weekend. I encourage you all to get out and take a look at this comet.
There's a cosmic visitor in the inner solar system at the moment, and it's far more spectacular than I expected. So I just wanted to make a quick video to show you how to see it for yourself. When I first saw it last week, I was amazed by how bright and easy to spot it was, even just with the naked eye. This is C2020 F3, or as it's better known, Comet Neowise, and it's an amazing sight in our night skies at the moment, easily visible even if you live in a big city. So it's well worth trying to go outside and get a glimpse of it yourself if you've got clear skies. Comets are small lumps of ice and rock, most of which spend most of their time a very long way from the sun. But they often have very eccentric orbits, both mathematically and literally, which means that occasionally they'll dive into the inner solar system. And when they do so, the intense heat from the sun will cause the comet to start to eject clouds of gas and dust. And that means that these tiny little rocks, which would normally be completely invisible to the naked eye, can develop a large, bright, reflective tail, sometimes bright enough to be seen by us down here on the surface of the Earth. This is a time-lapse I made of Neowise, and you can see it appearing in the northwest, diving lower through the north around midnight, and then rising higher into the northeastern sky as sunrise approaches. And this is the pattern it'll follow, apart from the fact it's also getting higher and moving west surprisingly fast from night to night as it moves further away from the sun. This is its predicted path as seen from London, but it's pretty similar in much of the northern hemisphere. This first line is the path it took on the 8th of July, one of the first nights it was visible, and this is the path it took on the night of the time-lapse. And then here is what it'll look like on the night of Saturday the 18th. So, as you can see, it rises substantially higher and moves further to the west with every passing day. A week later, on the night of Saturday the 25th, it's risen a bit more and moved even further to the west. The easiest way to find it is to look for the bright star Capella, which is near the northern horizon. Find the Big Dipper up and to the left, and then use this chart to work out where in between you can find Neowise on the night that you're observing. It looks like a small dot with a smudge above it, and that smudge is the comet's dusty tail. The nights are absolutely glorious at the moment, with Jupiter and Saturn shining away in the south about as bright as it's possible for them to shine. And another thing you're in with a chance of seeing is noctilucent clouds. Clouds that are so high in the atmosphere that they can catch sunlight and reflect it down to Earth even in the dead of night, which means they seem to glow strangely on the northern horizon. This is a picture that I took, and you can see on the right Comet Neowise, and on the left a beautiful display of noctilucent clouds. Neowise will begin to fade over the next few weeks as it gets further from the sun, cools down, and the chaotic jets of gas and dust on its surface start to calm. And then it's off out into the cold and dark of deep space for a very long time. Astronomers estimate Neowise's last dive into the inner solar system was about 4,500 years ago. And these highly eccentric orbits are incredibly sensitive to tiny changes. It's thought that because of the deflections on this particular encounter, Neowise won't be back in the inner solar system for another 6,800 years. That means it's going to be gone this time for even longer than it was gone before, and makes it even more worth staying up for. Comet Neowise looks great with the naked eye, or even better if you have a pair of binoculars to hand. It should be visible for the next week or two at least as it climbs through the northern sky, getting a bit dimmer as it moves further away from the sun. Comets are beautiful, unpredictable celestial phenomena, so check this one out if you get a chance. Or mark the year 8820 in your calendar for its next visit.
So tonight, tomorrow, Sunday, you have a chance. I encourage you to go outside, escape some of the light pollution. If you're in a city, if you're outdoors, you are already being treated, to the magnificent phenomenon that is a comet, and then meteor showers come up too. And we've pointed a few of those out, and we'll continue to do so throughout the show. Well, what's going on with Camp Quarantine? It's very special. It's the 16th. We mentioned we have a big announcement. And at the top of the hour, I figured what better time to announce it. It's thanks to you all, and thanks to all our guests, our supporters, our fans, that I am very excited to announce what's going to go on with Camp Quarantine. Without further ado, our big announcement. So this week we took a travels. I brought my buddy, fueled up the car, rental car, Hertz is keeping it safe. And we traveled up to South Carolina. Here we met a gentleman named Bill who was able to diagnose a vehicle for us that we were interested in. Using state-of-the-art technology and verifying that this used, new to me, vehicle was up for the adventure. It is my pleasure to announce the newest member of Camp Quarantine. This Mercedes Sprinter 2500 is now a member of the family. We have featured a number of individuals before who have taken travels and brought back these beautiful beasts, but now this one's all ours. As much as folks can't travel right now in the United States by flight because it's not safe, we're going to take our furry companions and our festive show and continue to spread happiness and philanthropy on the road. You guys are looking at the biggest smile on my face because I'm excited to share a whole new slew of scenes like this. Gorgeous waterfalls, hopeful deserts, national parks, peaks and valleys, sunrises and sunsets. And of course, more of our furry friends. Our favorite, however, has to always be the campfire. Ladies and gentlemen, it is proud, I can't even talk, I'm too excited. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to introduce you to the newest member of the Camp Quarantine family, who's gargantuan in the garage, but fits in the driveway. I'm going to take you down and show you a little bit more of her, but over the next few weeks, we'll be building her out, and I think she probably needs a name. Well, we gave you all the opportunity to get a sneak preview on our Instagram. If you're not following and supporting, take a gander at campquarantine.co. We are live there now, and we'll continue to share all of our adventures, all of our build out, all of our scenic drives, and the progress of this beauty. Well, I asked what maybe we should name her, and we got a whole bunch of different suggestions, but there was one that seemed a little bit more fitting in my head. There's an entire community of van lifers that we've been featuring, and an entire group. We've actually, on week 3, we had the Scamper Van, which I'd be remiss if I didn't point out, who is a rental company here in Atlanta and Asheville that you can rent from. And take a look if you guys are interested in van life. Folks, wherever we please. Oh. I'm too excited. We will be doing shows from wherever we please. That's not going to stay there. So we're going to clearly work on things, and we're going to obviously try and figure it out. But we did need a name, and I think it's only official. I think it's only impactful that we end today's broadcast with sharing what our name of our new Camp Quarantine vehicle may be. Well, I thought about it long and hard, and a lot of folks said you've got to have the word van in it. So I'm proud to share our new van named Nirvana. Well, why? Well, because of course there is the word van in it, but that word means so much more. For any of you who follow any of the teachings of Buddhism, Jainism, or Hinduism, and certainly Sanskrit will be familiar with the word, which is a state of perfect quietude, freedom, highest happiness, as well as liberation from the ending and repeating cycle of birth, life, and death. Well, what did that mean to me? Why this van? Why that name? Because, well, if we're going to be leaving the house and we're going to be letting things go and seeing all this freedom in nature, well, it only seems fitting that that happiness, that exuberance, that freedom is exemplified in Nirvana. So welcome, Nirvana. We want to know what you think. Even though we've got the name, there's a little entendre in the name too. I was able to secure this plate, which will be proudly displayed on the front, but think about it. In our van, a wonderful show was created. In our van, a new community of people were brought together. In our van, our dog got to explore the world. We want to hear what it is you think we should be doing in our van, because it is quite just that, our community. So drop us a message, hit us up on Instagram at campquarantine.co, give us a support. But I could not be more excited to tell you all that our show's going on the road, guys. So this is week 16. I wanted to announce this a little bit ago, but even better, we're able to do it today, here this month. I'm going to be involving so many more partners. We have sponsors aboard. We're going to be wrapping this girl. We're going to be doing all kinds of build outs over here, and you all are going to be a part of it. So thank you so much to all of our guests, all of our viewers, folks who have stuck with us, folks who will watch, who will continue to support us. I can't thank you enough for all that you guys do and letting you open up your homes and let us into your backyards, your balconies, your bedrooms every Friday night. So follow along, campquarantine.co. And again, our next show will be on July the 31st. So we will be here, back here in this van, July the 31st. And thank you, Alex. Appreciate you being on the show today, and certainly all of our guests. But we're going to leave you with a little bit of music and show you a little bit of the van. How could we not? So we'll finish with that. But our next show, like I said, will be on Friday the 31st. We hope you'll join us right back here and share the word, spread the news. We've got ourselves a Nirvana, and we're excited to have you a part. Folks, baseball is back. Be safe. Say hey. Shoot a text to those cousins. Enjoy time with family. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. And be good to each other. We'll catch you next week on Camp Quarantine. Take care, guys.